You gotta click on the box, Rab. Like your box where you at, your name,
Yeah.
and you'll see 3 little dots. Push on them 3 little dots, and it should say rename. Do you see the 3 little dots?
Double click.
Right click it, Rab. Right click it.
I don't see no right clicking.
Oh, you on a cell phone? That's right. I don't know.
I'm on a cell phone, man. Because you'll say when I get on my laptop, you'll hear clicking. Dots. Oh, wait a minute. More.
Yeah.
Check meeting settings.
Anything you see rename?
Show name when.
So y'all there?
I don't see nothing that says rename. Let's go ahead and conduct this meeting.
All right, man. So hey, I'm glad to have all 4 of you gentlemen here, the legends, the founders of the ATL, in my eyes, you know what I'm saying? So one of the main reasons I wanted to bring you guys out is just to get some identity to who you are, what you've done, and the legacy that you gave to Atlanta. I wanted to start the meeting off by, letting you introduce yourself. I'm gonna start off with Elwood J, since he's the closest to me, all right? So Elwood J, we're gonna go.
Hey, hi, hello. I'm that cool fly fellow, chilly and mellow. King Edward J, I say, rocking Atlanta, GA, making the caterers sound much greater. Yeah. Well, okay.
All right.
Well,
So,
first of all, go ahead.
Go ahead. Introduce yourself. Go ahead.
Just introduce myself, not go into the story. Is that correct?
Yeah, just no. Yeah. All right, Shadi, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yo, what's up, y'all? I'm going by the name of MC Shadi.
All right, Raheem.
Yo, check it out. This your boy Raheem the Dream, straight tight to death, recording artist, author of many books in the music industry, CEO of Tight to Death Records, responsible for a whole bunch of hits, y'all. We'll talk about later.
All right, my man Black Rabbi.
All right, everybody, see my real slave name is Melvin Spirit, but I'm known by the Black Rabbi. I seen my niece was on there. I don't know what happened to her, but I've been all over the place. Started out in Decatur, went to Lawrenceville, now I'm way down south in Henry County.
All right. So now everybody kind of introduced themselves. Now I'm gonna just start it off. Rabbi, since you kind of was about to lead into it, I'm gonna let you go ahead and since I know you kind of spearheaded a lot of the things that went on, and you was kind of the guy that was kind of responsible for Shadi. I just want to start it with you and just let you kind of tell your story, and then we'll go into Shadi and Raheem. All right.
All right, but I'm gonna keep it short then, because Shadi and Raheem. No, I'm like the mouth for the South. I can go on and on and on. But this is how it all started out back in 1978. Came down to Atlanta, Georgia, but I really didn't kick into this rap scene until 1980. I had this idea about the breakdance. I didn't see no breakdancing going on down here, but my idea was this art of breakdancing with a couple of friends like Ernest Marshall. I forget the female's name. So I don't want to really lead nobody out, because if I lead somebody out, they're gonna get, oh, why you talk about me? But it goes back to the Prime Cable. That's where with Shadi, it all started Columbia High School. Columbia High School, me and Casual Cal was doing a high school tour. I'm in Columbia High School. I had this long cord mic, and I asked the crowd, anybody out there know how to spit? This little dude comes up to me and said, I can. I said, I bet. What's your name? MC Shadi. I gave him the mic, and I'm going to tell you something, DJs, everything was history. From there, I told Cal, we got to bring this guy out on this high school tour. But Southwestern Cab and Columbia, Cedar Grove had a contest. They both won. So Run DMC went to Cedar Grove. I was going to go to Southwestern Cab with Roxanne Shante, but the principal at Southwestern Cab wasn't having it. So I called Shadi up and said, look, I can't pay you, but I need you to be in the audience of your whole old high school, because they doing assembly with Run DMC, Roxanne Shante, make this real quick. I think I saw Shadi, but when after Run DMC did their thing, I asked a student body, how many of y'all know of MC Shadi? They went ballistic. And I said, Shadi, if you're in the audience, I need you to come on down. Man, he came down, DJ X, and Shadi, you know what you did. He turned it out so hard that Joseph Simmons says, who is that? I said, this guy right here is from the Bronx, but he's very popular in the South. From Cedar Grove, we went to the Hawks game with Funky Fresh Frank. From there, Shadi turned the Omni out. Right, Shadi?
No doubt.
No doubt. And then with Raheem, I met Raheem. Raheem, explain how I met you, man, because it just blows my mind, because I haven't talked to you in 35 years.
Man, it was wild to meet the Black Rabbi, man. This was before everything. It was before my very first record. In fact, he was on this cable TV show. It was really Georgia TV at that time. And somebody called me. They said, yo, man, you need to get down to this station right off 14th Street. It's a station. It's a guy on that show called Black Rabbi, man. And you need to go on his show and get an interview, tell everybody about what you're doing, you know, because I was really just throwing parties. I was straight from Thera High School, me and DJ Toomp. So we throwing parties and Toomp was my DJ. So they told me to go on the Black Rabbi show and get you some of this promotion. So I got on there and I met Rabbi, man. And next thing you know, I'm helping Rabbi put posters up on telephone poles in Atlanta, Decatur, East Point, you know, and me and Rabbi was cool. Rabbi said, just come by my show, man. I put you on, we'll blow things up, whatever you got to do. So I come on the show, man, and I'm coming on with stuff like this. Do y'all remember what you thought?
I remember that. I remember that.
Right? So the new generation, y'all have never seen one of these. These are cassettes. And look at that.
Oh,
picture.
the cassette. Yeah. I had to put my glasses on. Yeah.
Look, hey, and then we even had to do something better than that. We even had to carry stuff like this, 12 inches around.
That's right.
Right.
With DJ Toomp on there, man, I'm telling you, man, we had to choke these around, man. How you feel going in the club? You got 20 of them on the side of your arm.
That's
But
right.
that was the only means and only method that we had. So you didn't know nothing about CDs and USBs and stuff. So somebody saw you with a 12-inch, they couldn't wait to get it, take it home and put it on their stereo. You know, move that coffee, your television over and lift that big old thing up. Well,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm talking about that was the intro to the game for me. That was the intro.
So check this out. The crazy thing is both of you guys started out independent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Raheem, you kind of remain independent at your, throughout your career.
Yes.
But like just speak on like in the beginning when both of y'all started, just being independent and how important it was to be independent back. And we're talking about like 85, 86.
Yep. It was so important to be independent at that time because we didn't have the wherewithal to go inside of a record label such as Warner Brothers and Atlantic and Sony to ask somebody to give us a deal. They wasn't handing out deals like that. So in order for you to get your record going, you had to actually find out where's pressing plants. We was using Georgia Pressing at that time, and I was getting my cassettes out of Miami, in Hialeah. So I'm getting records and cassettes shipped in every 3 weeks. Then we had to find out, how do we sell our music? How do we get it into Peppermint Music, and Turtle Music, and Camelots and all these chains? Most of them not even here now. But they was like, if you're not on a major label, we're not accepting independent product in the stores at this time. So we had that roadblock. We had the radio roadblock, where at this time, Ray Board was the program director for V103. And if you wasn't on one of those four major labels, he wasn't playing your music except on Friday nights, Friday Fresh Fest. Right. And you're talking about between the hours of 10 p.m. and 12 midnight. Right. You got 2 hours to get
That was 2 hours. That was 2 hours. That was the Fresh Party.
Yeah, that was our Fresh Party. we had to get our music in there. And you know how many records everybody wanted to get their records on. You wasn't getting but a minute and a half of your song mixed in that night. So look, what are the odds of you getting heard on Friday night from 10 to 12? Okay, from the regular consumer, everybody's trying to go to a club. Remember the Phoenix nightclub, Char Disco, and the night. Right? We going to the club. But what happened, it got real big, and on the way to the club, everybody listening to the Fresh Fest. So Dangerous D and the Fresh Fest, Ryan Cameron and all them, they blowing up our music. This is Atlanta's own Shadi and Raheem the Dream. So now we the hottest thing in the club. So we might didn't have a video out. We might wasn't on a major record label, but we the hottest thing in the club. Therefore, the record stores started requesting our records. They like, well, we need that Raheem here. We missing sales, we missing money. They coming there asking for Raheem and Shadi more than they asking for Shalimar and all these other big name artists. You know what I'm saying? So we ease our way on in, and then y'all will know about this right here, the 90-day payment plan. You know, we'll take your product in, but we're only paying every 90 days. I'm like, I'm paying every time I go press my record. They ain't giving me 90 days. So if you want some brand new Raheem the Dream, Lemonade and all that stuff, you have to pay too. So they were like, well, let me check with my boss. I said, you check with them and you give us a call. By that time, they'd have missed 100 or 200 more 12-inch sales. They called back and say, we'll do y'all invoice to invoice. Every time we order 100, we pay for the next 100. That's how they were doing me. They broke the rules to get some brand new Raheem in their store, man.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Shadi, I know your experience was a little different because you was on Foresight when that label was out of Florida. So like, what was your experience? I mean, especially like during that time, we, like I said, it's 84, 85, Atlanta, you know, just setting the scene. Atlanta really don't have a rap scene. Like y'all the first dudes out the box, really, like that outside of Mojo. Now, you know, I can't excuse Mojo because Mojo, he had Jump Stomp and Twist, but that was like more the AM days when we was like WAOK, WITO. But this was like the beginning of the first party there, and I think the first party started with Wonder Rummers, and then Darren Fierce took it over.
Okay.
But we talking about like 80, we talking about 85, 86. You was signed to like being signed. I think you was like, if you weren't in high school, you was fresh out of high school.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
So what was that experience like?
I mean, it was cool because, like I say, before I got to deal with Foresight, like I say, Rabbi hooked me up, you know, so my name kind of was in the streets with no record. So basically, I used to open up shows for like groups that come to Atlanta. You know, they had like the Parents of Roxanne and all that thing, that Roxanne craze going on back around that time. So I got a chance to open up for Gigolo Tony and Lacey Lace. They was the Parents of Roxanne, and Sparky D was on the show. And I think Shantae was on the show, or the real Roxanne. One of them was on the show. Make a long story short, after I got through doing my little 2-minute set, Vanis Lopez stepped to me and she was like, hey, you was pretty good. What's the name of your song? I told her, nah, I'm local. You know, I said, she said, you don't have a record? I said, nah, I don't have a record deal or nothing. I work, I park cars. So she was like, let me go back down to Florida. I work for a label, which was Foresight Records, Billy Hines. So she went back and talked to Billy, and she called me back in the week and was like, yo, we ready to send for you. You know, you got any ideas on the record for a record? I said, yeah, I got a great idea for a song. So they sent me and DJ Man 2 Greyhound bus tickets, and we caught the bus down there to Fort Lauderdale, and we went in the studio and made Rap Will Never Die. And then Billy, you know, he put the record out, man, and the record was like growing legs. You know, it was just blowing up everywhere, man. And, you know, like Rod said, man, I had about 12 inches under my arms going, you know, from club to club, you know, giving them the DJs and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, basically, it was a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
You still here with us, X?
My
Hello?
bad. I had to mute my mic. I was muting my mic so I wouldn't get no feedback. My bad. So during that time, man, like I say, this 84, 85, there's a lot of things going on. And y'all young, and during that time, this is like when gangs at first hit Atlanta, you had the whole Down by Law thing going on, and especially like I said, so I got to mute somebody's phone. Hold on one second.
Somebody named Erica Childs. That's probably where all that noise coming from.
Yeah.
That sound like my neighbor.
Oh, that's your neighbor?
Yeah, that's my now. I told a lot of people about this.
Oh, okay.
I told a lot of people about this. You know,
Okay.
you'd be surprised. I just sent it out nonstop.
I'm still sending out to people right now as we talking.
Hey, so like I said, we still in 85. Like in during this time, Shadi, you knew about like, especially like what I'm looking at is like Shadi, you represented like the East Side, which was you know Decatur, that kind of thing, and Raheem, you kind of represented the West Side. And during this time, Atlanta didn't have a real voice, and it was real important. Like the only identity we had was most artists had to we either had to sound like we were New York or the music had to be like New York. Like when you first came out with Eliminator, you kind of like had that LL flow, and then like Shadi, when you came out, you was coming from New York. You kind of already had a New York sound.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, but you kind of fused it and kind of, you know, it just made good music. But but during that time, it was a lot of things going on. What kept y'all focused on the music, being so young? And then I think during that time, I think Raheem, you was dealing with Jarvis. You was signed to you and Jarvis was doing the independent thing. Am I not mistaken?
Yeah, on Jarvis Records, King J, Jarvis Raheem had started Jarvis Records. Him and his friend named Art. They started Jarvis Records, and we took off from there. We was hitting the Jelly Beans, and you know we was hitting the club scene, and this what tripped me out. Back in the days, man, 85, 86, 87, that's when we was hitting the strip club scene. We had Montrez out there in the Purple Onion.
Right.
That's where they got the name table dance from. The girls actually had to stand on top of the table.
And the Foxy Lady was popping.
And the Foxy Lady. Right. So these girls are standing on top of the table. Your drink got to get out the way because she got to get on table. You know, whatever you got on the table, you need to put it on the floor.
Did y'all just mention the Purple Onion?
Yep.
That was my dad. That was actually my dad. He owned Gentleman's Club, and that's where he made Club Nicky's. That was his first spot.
Yes.
Purple Onion.
It used to be the Purple Onion.
That's right. Let me tell you, he took me up there in the parking lot, and he said, "Baby girl, what you think about this spot?" And I said, "I don't know, Dad. You know, it's called the Purple Onion." He said, "Trust me, baby. I got a good name for it. I'm telling you, it was the best club in Atlanta. You know about Club Nicky."
Club Nicky.
Hey, but Erica, tell everybody your dad's name.
Mike Childs.
Mike Childs. My
guy
right there.
That's a good friend of mine.
Oh, that's a friend of yours?
One cool
Mike
guy.
That's a great friend of mine.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Now you see
I'm
why I
mute
invited
out.
you out of here, Erica. Now you see why I gave you the info to come on this show right here. You know,
That's
you got
right.
some
I'm
roots
here.
There you
I'm
go.
muting out.
All right.
Absolutely.
So let me go back to that question. Like I was saying, like it's 85, 86, and just y'all trying to be focused.
Yeah.
As far as being like it's a whole new world for you. Atlanta never had no rap stars or nothing like that. So what kept y'all focused during this time? Like I said, you had gangs going on. Crack had just hit the streets. I mean, it was crazy during the 80s. So y'all was at the beginning of this. So what kept you focused?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna make it brief. What kept me focused is I was seeing the response that the record had when it come on in the club. The DJ say, "Watch this, watch this." And I'm looking at DJ like, what are you getting ready to do? He said, watch how they act when your record come on. As soon as it come on, ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, I'm looking at the crowd going crazy, the flow packed, the speakers booming. I'm like, damn, that's my record. I'm 18, 19 years old in the club. That's my record. So that happened everywhere I was going. And I started getting concert calls for skating rinks and little side cities like Griffin and Monroe, Georgia, all them small towns like that. So I'm like, oh, we got our own scene. And then people, once our record got like 2 or 3 months old, they start asking, when you coming out with something else? Then we say, okay, then we drop Eliminator. Then I started getting a feeling that you got to keep the records coming. You know, once one get ready to die down, you got to keep another one coming. And they got fun for us, man. You know, we weren't even making it about money at the time. We was making it because the crowd was loving it. We're getting in the clubs free. They paying me $1,000 to rap for 10 minutes. I'm like, wow, I love this, man. You know, this is what I want to be in. And I ain't turned my head back yet.
Okay. So around this same time, I think all us in high school, we riding around, everybody getting bumped in their car. You know, this is when everybody getting speakers in their ride. You know, you know how it was going back then. You know, you had to have a bump in the trunk. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So, but everybody was going to buy this DJ tape, and he had this echo voice on it, and he was and everybody loved this guy. Everybody would ride by you with him, but only people that lived on one side of town would get these tapes. And this guy was with Jay.
Yeah, that's right. It's me, the K to the I-N-G. King Edward J, I say, rocking Atlanta GA, making Decatur sound much greater. Step away, you hater. Listen.
You still got it.
So Jay, like Jay, I always say, you one of a kind, man. Like, you know, when you came in the game, just tell them how you came into this thing.
Okay, well, first of all, I just want to thank the ATL for how they embraced me, how they embraced a new sound that they weren't used to, how their minds and hearts were open to something creative, because that's what I wanted to do. But I came here straight out of college. I had graduated from the University of Florida, heading up to New York to work at an advertising agency. I graduated in advertising, realized that Atlanta was a land of opportunity for Black people. That's what we heard. I have been coming up here every year, cool jazz festivals. At any rate, I had 30 days to go up there. Car broke down. And I said, this Atlanta opportunity here, college degrees were a dime a dozen. I was offered job at Atlanta Journal-Constitution, which paid just slightly above minimum wage. I wouldn't take that, but I worked for Echo Drugs for about 4 years. On the weekends, I managed to get a part-time job working at Mr. B's with Casual Cal, Iceberg Slim, just every now and then. Knowing people there, I started throwing parties. I began to make more money throwing the parties than I was managing Echo Drugs. I visited a friend over in East Hampton a lot, and there was a vacant building there. When I would go out to buy records, a lot of time I could not find the records that I wanted. And when I would go, sometime I was getting them sent to me from New York. So this building was vacant, and I said, I ought to open up me a record store. And I had been managing the Echo Drugs for about 4 years. So if I could manage their money, I could manage my business. Open up this little record store. And first I was just making personalized tapes. Anybody who had a small business know that you paid just almost as much for the record that you sold it for. You didn't make very much profit off of the albums. So I started making mixed tapes, getting, first they were just personalized. I would get a 90-minute mixtape, personalized, was 25, no jive. But if you bought one already made up, it was a nifty $13.50. It was only 10, my friend. But yes, but we would with the personalized mixtape, they wanted me to talk on their tape. So I began to talk on the ones that weren't personalized. Even when I was in Florida, I used to, one of my roommates was a DJ at the local club there, and I used to give him breaks. People began to want me more than they wanted him because I made a little rhyme along as I was mixing the records. At any rate, when I got up here, opened the record store, started selling the tapes. That began to be my cash cow. But my idea was to make something different, always something different, always something creative. I know MC Shadi, Raheem talk about there was, not no platform for local DJs. I made King Edward J a platform for all of these local DJs. If you had a rap record worth anything, I pumped Atlanta music. And we know that New York had a style, West Coast had a style. You talk about the different styles, but slowly our mixtapes was creating a style of their own. We wrote, with first time I heard an 808 drum machine, I knew that had to be included on our mixtapes. So we began to hear other records. Now record labels started making more records and more records with a bass drive on it. We always did something innovative. I remember when Shadi first came up to my record shop, pull out a piece of cardboard out of his trunk. Started breakdancing in my parking lot. That was the beginning of something. I was in there. Sometime I would be mixing and let Shadi come on the turntables. He was cutting. Mixing and he was cutting. And a lot of our best work never made it to our mixtapes because the J Shop, King Edward J Takes became a hangout for all of the local DJs. Some of them would send us tapes to audition to become part of a team, but I just saw something. I knew Atlanta had an appetite for hip hop music that they weren't being served up. They talk about, those 2 hours on Friday that they would have music, but they weren't catering to Atlanta artists. That's why J-Team, our music was their radio station.
That's right.
Yeah, if you couldn't get a J-Team tape without Atlanta rappers on there as well. And because of our camaraderie and DJs hanging out at the J Shop, the sound began to change. The echo box. I never it would make a difference between me using the echo box and then people requesting to hear this echo box, which to me was no big deal, but it became a signature. You hear records now with a fast beat, with a slow music drive. J-Team.
That was pillow bass. That was pillow bass.
Many years ago, we started that, didn't think nothing of it.
That was Kizzy Rock and Smurf.
Pardon?
Right.
Yeah, that was Kizzy Rock and Smurf, pillow bass and bedroom something. I forget those tapes that they made.
Yes.
Magic Mark.
Magic Mark, the Party Spark. But the thing was that we had a team that had different styles, and they kind of competed with one another to come out with something new. And all of that was a drive. Man, Shadi will tell you when he come by there, Tupa come by there, and we just have a good time. Nobody getting paid.
That's right.
we just having fun making music and doing something different. Like I say, some of our greatest sessions never made it to our tapes. And we would say, oh man, I wish we would have recorded that. Yes. Right. But I never forget, I was driving near 5 Points when we knew how Atlanta had shut out all of the local rap music. They would play rap. They had begun to play it from up north, some from West Coast, but they wouldn't play it. And then, of course, when we hit Shadi, and then we heard Raheem, but when I heard Success Anything, the record came out in the middle of the day. It was in the middle of the day. I'm driving by 5 Points, roll it up, man, and you hearing that boom in it. Oh man, I saw people as I drove by, and I was stopped right in front of 5 Points, and people just went crazy. And I knew Atlanta had something.
Oh yeah, at that point we did have some. So at that point, like just going back now, Shadi, you was fortunate enough after being signed to Forsyth, you had a chance at that point. Luke Skywalker had built this amazing empire down in Florida, and you was able to go and sign to Luke. And then I know you went through a few things. Just tell us a little bit about that whole situation you had going on with Luke during this same time. Atlanta is going through this whole transformation.
Yo, y'all can hear me? Y'all can see me?
I think he
No, we
logged
can't
out.
see you.
Okay. I believe it or not, man, some kind of way my computer had cut the whole meeting off. I heard Edward J, but I didn't hear the question what you said, X. What was the question you asked?
I said
they can't hear you on IG either. I don't know what's going on with the sound. I just want to tell you that. So whenever X asks y'all a question, can y'all repeat the question for the viewers?
Okay. All right. I didn't hear the question what X had asked me.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Shot?
I can hear you clear.
Okay, yeah. Well, what I was asking him was in around that time, you was fortunate enough to be signed to Luke. And during that time, Luke had built this empire with 2 Live Crew and all that, and you was fortunate enough to be signed to him when they was kind of like at their peak. Just tell us about that experience. And I know you went through some things. On that.
You're freezing up, X. You froze up on.
Can you see me? Can you see me now?
You froze up. Your voice froze.
Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I heard you said about me being with Luke and
yeah. Just give us that. Just tell us about that whole situation.
Repeat.
I mean, okay. Well, basically, my experience with being with Luke was a beautiful thing, you know, because when I got away from Forsyth and I went with Luke, it's so crazy. I could tell y'all a story, and I got to tell y'all this story because people still don't believe me. Basically, I called Luke up. I said, yo, Luke, my contract is over with Forsyth. You want to do some business? The man shot me a plane ticket the next day, and me and Cool Collie flew down. DJ Man was nowhere to be found, so me and Collie flew down to Miami, and we went and made Gotta Be Tough. And the story that I wanted to tell is funny because, like I said, I couldn't find DJ Man at the time, so I was the one doing the scratches on Gotta Be Tough, and We Don't Play. Excuse me, y'all. And that really didn't matter because I love DJ Man so much. I was telling Collie, man. Collie was like, don't say his name in the record. I said, nah, man, because I know we're gonna hook back up. So that's why you hear me say DJ Man, you know, DJ Man all through the record. And at the end, my throat is sore. Tell me what you think of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know Man, and I really hate that Man wasn't on that record because the type of DJ I was, DJ Man was 30 times better than me. You know what I'm saying? So it Gotta Be Tough. It would have even been better than it was, and it turned out to be a classic. But if I would have had Man on there, it'd have been a super classic. Y'all know what I'm saying? Because Man was the man.
My right hand.
Yeah, so I just had to tell that story. You know what I'm saying? But excuse me, y'all. The experience with Luke was a beautiful thing, man, because Luke was out there. They was grinding. When I say they was grinding, man, they was running Luke Skywalker records at the time, right out of Pac Jam. Mr. Mitz and Fresh Kid Ice, believe it or not, was doing all the packaging up with the songs, the 12 inches to be mailed out. I mean, you walk in Pac Jam, man, they might have, no joke, 5,000 packages ready to ship out of the 2 Live Crew stuff and my stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I give it a couple of months, man. When it finally got the DJs, man, next thing you know, man, we hitting the road. I mean, nonstop, man. I mean, it got so bad, me and Man couldn't come back to Atlanta for a while. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we was doing so many shows, man. So the whole experience with Luke, man, was just a beautiful thing, man, because like I said, this man took nothing and made it out of something. You know what I'm saying? And he did all that independently, man. And so, I mean, man, 30 years later, man, I gotta take off my hat to Luke, man, because like I say, man, he really fought for us to get out there independently. And believe it or not, man, the majors did step to him and he turned it down. You know, a couple of major labels stepped to him, and I kind of hated that because us as artists, we could have been bigger than, you know what I'm saying, just kind of Southeast region artists, like they were saying, you know what I'm saying? But we really wasn't Southeast region artists because we was all in Texas, all on the West Coast.
Yeah, I mean, like during that time, like Luke had major distribution, so he was everywhere. So I mean, it seemed like it was in the Southeast because mainly I think most of the distribution was in the Southeast, but he was everywhere. Like most of the artists that was on his label were major artists.
Yeah, definitely. Cause like I say, man, they was calling for us to come do shows in Japan, Germany. You know, I went over to Mexico, did shows. I went to the Bahamas. I went to Jamaica. You know, I went to Canada. I took Smurf. Smurf was 15 years old, and I took him to Canada with me to do a couple of shows.
Right. So the other side to that is, and I'm gonna go. I want to come back to somebody that both of you and Rabbi, you and Jay mentioned was Casual Cal. Like I heard both of y'all mention his name. How important was he to the Atlanta music scene back then before he started doing the Universal Soul Circus?
Well, he was real important, particularly to those people. When you went to Mr. V's, you had on cosmopolitan attire. So,
what is cosmopolitan attire?
Sort of like you used to see King Edward J all the time.
That's right.
But yes, you know, you didn't go in there with the baseball caps and all of that. You had to have on the jacket and, you know, that type of, so he had a different type of audience. For me, when I threw, I got a lot of reputation from there, but the parties I threw, some of those same parties, people who came to Mr. V's though, when they came to my parties, they were different people. They were different people, and they had a different drive and wanted to party and wanted to not act so sophisticated. I'll put it like that. I'll yield the flow. That's to speak on that, but he was important.
Yo, can you hear me?
Rabbi.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
All right, check it out. With me and Mr. Casual Cal, I had a cousin, bless his soul. He's up in heaven now. His name was the Master Plaster, Jasper Thompson. I used to come down here and visit. And Mr. V's was like Studio 54 in New York. It was the place to be. And I used to get up there with Cal and I said, yo, one day I'm gonna move down here and we're gonna get busy. Like I said, in 78, when I came down, I started out real slow, but Casual Cal was the man at Mr. V's, okay? And like I said, we had this high school tour going around. I can mention some DJs like Jonathan King. I don't know if he's on here now. Jonathan King, he went to East Atlanta. And when I seen this brother, he was like, what? How old was he, Shadi? About what, 16?
Well, he was a little older than me. He might have been about 17.
Okay. All right. When I seen him cutting and scratching, I said, hey, what city you from? He said, I'm from Atlanta. I said, man, Cal, we got to bring this young man on a tour. That's the thing about with me and Cal. Cal was in the forefront. We all worked for Cedric Walker. His name was Ricky Walker. He the one brought the Fresh Fest down. In other words, you heard what Raheem said when I met him. See,
so,
Raheem.
So like a lot, like we throwing out a lot of names, but a lot of people don't know what the Fresh Fest was, what the Fresh Fest is, and they don't really know who Ricky Walker is. So kind of stay to your story, but kind of explain who Ricky Walker and the Fresh Fest is.
Well, Ricky Walker, he's the one that brought the Fresh Fest. That was the first hip hop concert in the whole nation, really in the South. I mean, he brought it here first. And you talking about you had Run DMC, you had Houdini, you had
I was there though. So just keep naming them. I was there though.
You was there, right?
I was there. It was crazy. It was like it was like having all. It was like Lollapalooza for hip hop back then. You know what I'm saying? But it was all hip hop. So if you was hot in hip hop, you was on the Fresh Fest.
That's right. And see, that's why I give props to Raheem. See, I was the one putting the commercials on the radio, putting back in the day, they had telephone poles. And each corner had 4 telephone poles. I get my van, isn't that right, Ryan? It had about 1,000 posters. And we would go around and plaster this whole city. I mean, what made me feel good was the crowd. I mean, it was a packed house. You follow me?
Oh, yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, they had the Fresh Fest at the Omni, right?
It was the old Omni.
Mm-hmm.
It was the old Omni.
Which is now the State Farm Arena. Well, is it State Farm Arena, right?
Right.
Inside.
Right. And see, with the Universal Soul Circus, I know a lot of, Cedric Walker, Ricky Walker, he was in the background. He didn't want to show his face or nothing. I mean, you know, but this man right here, we was at the round table, we was talking about certain things, and I said, hey, we need to have a black circus. And first they looked at me like I was crazy. I said, no, we need to follow around the brothers. And everybody know the brothers, they don't even have a circus no more. And I said, we don't need to go to arenas. We need to take it and have a tent. And then from there, it's history. The Universal Soul Circus has been going on for 35 years and it's still strong. Casual Cow was the ringmaster, you know, but I can go on and on and on. My thing is in Atlanta, I used to like Shadi. I don't think Raheem went to me on the other side of the fence. I used to take a lot of kids from the neighborhood and show them the other side of the fence. When I say the other side of the fence, that was that Jewish neighborhood. I just wanted to show them what time it was. You can do the same thing that they're doing. And Shadi, no, they used to love this guy. They used to love this guy, you know? I mean, he was a break dancer, but one time I had 2 shows going on. I said, Shadi, take my spot. I'll be back. When I came back, I couldn't believe I had all these little Jewish kids doing their thing. And I said, oh, man. And, you know, it's like that. In other words, I can say making my money was the pleasure of trying to keep kids out of trouble. That was the whole thing with me. Just keeping the young kids. That's why I did the art of breakdancing. It was on every, I forgot what day it was on. Your mic and Raheem, your mic can help me out.
It came on like a crazy day of the week. And I was telling you when I talked to you, I say the crazy thing about that was my first time ever seeing Raheem and Toomp on TV. During that time, you only seen rap on TV unless it was coming out of New York or somewhere else, but it wasn't coming out of Atlanta. That was the first time any type of rap was on TV. And I told you, that was my fondest memory. That's why I always, every time I see Toomp, I go, man, first time I ever seen you, I seen you on cable TV in Decatur, man.
Yeah,
that's what it was. I mean, you know, it was something that when we did it, that's when I found out how powerful TV was. Okay, we had a part 1, a part 2. We had the Georgia Jammers, we had the USA Breakers, and I know Shadi, you had your little break group. I know you had a female, but them USA Breakers, boy, they were nasty. When I say nasty, they were fresh. They had this female named Tasha. Oh, it was. And then we did a movie. We did a little movie, but I can't remember if it was Sharon Showcase. I just can't remember where we did, but we did a little movie all around Atlanta. And that cable show, The Art of Breakdancing, that blew up. That's why I want to thank the Shadi and Raheem. I told them, I said, I can't pay y'all, but if y'all help me out, this is going to help y'all out. And look, everything's history. And I want to know, who's that DJ Funky? Who's that? The old man putting his glasses on.
That's my business partner, DJ Funky. That's who helped me put this together.
Well, right on, DJ Funky, right on.
Listen, I don't know how much time we're gonna have, but I don't want to live without getting shout out to some of the people on my team. I just got shout out.
We got enough time. I'm about to come right back to you, Jay. I got you.
Okay.
So this leads me into my next question, Jay. when you talk about the J team and you talk about like how you assembled all the DJs, right?
Right.
You had a lot of people, and everybody I'm about to name went on to do something great in the music business. You had Smurf, who later on became Mr. Collie Paul. You had MC Shadi. You had Kizzy Rock. You had Player Poncho. And they responsible for a lot. Who else?
JC.
Yeah. Can't forget the world famous DMC DJ JC, one of the best DJs I think out there. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
yes, he was my hip hop edition, my New York edition. We had to have that flavor as well. We weren't just one sided. I know you hear the club music, the girls dropping, but we had all kind of flavor, like the pillar bass, the slow jams, and all of that. But we had that hip hop flavor, that New York flavor as well. And JC brought it to the team. Yes. You know, I thank you for allowing me to introduce those people, because they were so important to this music game here. And, you know, I'm not throwing those artists that materialized in the 1990s under the bus. They did their thing. But the road were paved ones in the 80s. The ones in the 80s, they broke the ground, they hit the ground running, and they didn't have all of this, you know, but in the 1990s, you had other FM stations came in with open minds and ready to give credence to hip hop, but they didn't have that in the 80s. Like I said, and those who stuck to the game and struggled, they made way for the 90s. The only reason those other radio stations came here because there was an appetite for hip hop in Atlanta, and it wasn't being capitalized on with the stations that were already here. And with vision saw that, and Atlanta began to explode. Of course, when the other radio stations came, it kind of took away some of the J-Team radio station flavor because we were the hip hop radio station for a long time, but praise God. But it also opened the doors for the artists, man. And with me, the J-Team was just a springboard. And it was a way to show these young cats that you can be more than just a DJ. The stuff we did, we remixed those things. It was better than some of the recording artists. And that's what made a lot of the younger DJs want to be a DJ and know that you can go from, you don't have to just spin records in the club, but you can actually make a record and there's support for you. There's love for you. People didn't realize the power that ATL had. It went untapped for so many years.
What about Lady DJ and Player Poncho?
Yes, yes. The lady never shaded. Lady DJ, I say, that's my sister, mister. Shouts out also to Player Poncho, the A-Town players, you know, all of those guys, you know, that came on the scene and worked hard and you know, who didn't get the props that they should have got at the time. And but they kept the ground on. And I even what was the girl name that made Kicking Butts? I forget her name.
That was Easy T. That was Easy T, her and Sergio Chrome on Keller Road.
Yes, I see. I wanted to bring them up. I had it wrote down. I left that paper because I wanted.
Yeah, they had the studio. They had the studio right there in the apartment.
Right. But those people, they set the ground for others who came after them, and it's not just the 90s. It's those one in the 80s who really set the platform. And I just thank God that the J-Team was able to be a part. I got nothing but love for Atlanta and the love that they showed us. And I'm so proud of the marks that people who came through the J-Team have made on the national scene.
Shout out to Dirty Guy, man. Guy, man. Long live Guy. He used to imitate you.
Oh, man. One of our biggest supporters. You hear Guy anytime he popping up King Edward J and the J team. You know, a lot of what people don't know, a lot of the people in the street is what's made us, because they just spread the word. And you know, I know guys who couldn't be on a date with a girl without a girl asking them to pop in a J Team tape. And if you didn't have a pillar bass or you know, one of the J Team slow jam, you wasn't hitting on nothing. You rap if you put in that pillow bass, all right? A bedroom boom.
Kizzy Rock used to brag about you all the time. Man, then I brought Kizzy Rock to X.
Yeah, man. Kizzy R-O-C-K, yes, man. And he's still hanging in there, still making noise in the city, man. And it's amazing how so many have stayed. Even DJ Smooth with the City Boys, all of them came through, you know.
Right.
Mm.
So let me go back to Raheem and Shadi. So now y'all the first MCs, y'all the first real rappers to come out the city. Y'all starting to get some light. And so now you've inspired a whole generation of Atlanta people, young cats that want to be just like you. They want to be the new they want to be the new Raheem, the new Shadi. So now we're talking about the 90s. Now you got LaFace moved here. You got So Def got a label. You know, Dallas is doing his thing. And then at the same time, y'all are
froze.
But it's all bass music at that time. You know what I'm saying? So how did y'all feel once that major power came in the city? How did y'all stay relevant even when you know you was outbanked and outnumbered? You get what I'm saying?
Repeat the question.
They can't hear
me. No, you froze.
Again?
Yeah, that's okay. New technology.
How did you remain relevant even after those with big bank came in the 90s? How did you stay relevant against those big pockets?
Raheem?
Hold on, I gotta take him off mute.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay, yeah. The way I stayed, man, I just continued to hit the groundwork that I always been successful with. I said, they got radios and they got all this big money, but I'm gonna still go to these 20 nightclubs and these 41 strip clubs and these 4 stages. I'm gonna keep going to the people direct. I said, and you know, we just have to do it harder. I had a schedule. You know, I said Monday we hit Magic City. Tuesday we hit this club. You know, I had my schedule down and I had my trunk full of records. I said, I know they got a lot of money, they got videos, but ain't nothing like going in person and knowing the DJs and knowing the club owners. So they gave us a platform that we can compete with, man. And the way we was making our money was a trip, because I knew that the major labels, they was financing that money, but the artists wasn't getting paid. So I said, you know what? These records costing me 40 and 50 and 60 cents to press up, okay? And we selling them at wholesale at $5 and $6. So I'm selling 50,000 records. What you think I'm making? So I'm making better than an artist that you seeing on MTV and BET, you know, and they coming with their limousine, you know, the record label, Warner Brothers, Atlantic, they got to make them look good, but I already know how the pockets look, you know. So I pull up in those spots, man, and I made my money and I shook their hands. And when it was time for them to come in, I stepped to the side, let them get their shine on, because I already knew what time it was. You know, we just kept it grinding, man.
Okay, Shadi.
Well, basically, you know, I mean, I was just getting out of prison, so, you know, I was just trying to get used back to the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, and then it's so crazy how I got back in the game when the facing them was here, because basically, I told myself I wasn't gonna get back in the rap game. You know what I'm saying? But before I went to prison, I made a promise to Smurf, because before I went to prison, I taught Smurf how to work the SP 1200, and I left it with him while I went away. So I told Smurf, I said, yo, when I get back, we're going to pick up where I left off at, and where we left off at. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, it's so funny, Edward J, because when I went to Canada to do them shows, I had shows in Canada and New York, Buffalo, New York, upstate New York. They was right, you know, you could walk into Canada. I asked Lady DJ to go with me first. And Lady DJ said, no way, no how. You know what I'm saying? Lady DJ said, nah, I can't do it. I'm not going out in front of them people. You know what I'm saying? So Lady DJ was the one that suggested Smurf. So Smurf need to really thank Lady DJ, because Lady DJ was the one that thanked Smurf, because I asked her to go with me. I didn't even know Smurf. You know, I mean, I knew about him on the little mix CDs and stuff. But, you know, I didn't know him personally. That's what I'm saying. So I knew Lady DJ because I said, yo, Lady DJ, I need you to be my DJ. So she was like, no bet. So to make a long story short, she turned me on to Smurf. So that's how Smurf ended up going with me to Canada.
Wow.
So back to what I'm saying. Like I say, so I knew I wanted to get back in the music business when I got out of prison, but I didn't know how. So basically, this is the way God worked. A guy came to me, a guy, I don't know, Rabbi, you might know him. He was part of the USA Breakers named Little Walt. Do you remember?
Little Walt. Yeah.
Little Walt came to me. He said, yo, Shy, Itchy Bond want to give me a record deal, but I need a beat. You know, I mean, they want to give me a deal, but I don't have a beat. So to make a long story short, I jumped on the SP, made him a little fast up-tempo beat back then. He took it to Itchy Bond. Let me tell y'all a funny story. It ain't funny, but it's funny. Itchy Bond was like, yo, who did the beat? He was like, Shy D. Y'all remember the old school rapper Shy D? They said, okay, well, we ain't gonna give you the deal. We want to give Shy D the deal. We want to give him the deal because he like the beat. So they dissed him, then give him the deal, and they called me up and gave me a deal. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
that's how it goes.
Yeah, you know, and it was sad, but it was funny at the same time. So I told Smurf, yo, we back in the game. You know, so that's when Smurf produced the comeback album for me. You know, Smurf produced that whole album for me. So I told Smurf, I said, yo, man, I'm getting up there in age, man. I'm tired of this rapping stuff. Once you start rapping and let me be your manager. Smurf was like, cool. So Smurf, he whipped up a little crew. He got a sister. He got a Gangster Trick, and we became PMHI. So I went to Itchy Bond. I said, yo, y'all give Smurf a deal. So they gave Smurf a deal. You know what I'm saying? And we got some money and everything out of that deal. So basically, that's how Smurf was able to start making rap records. I got him his deal and became his manager. So to make a long story short, with what you were saying about us hanging in the game, X, like I said, they had LaFace that came to Atlanta, but yo, Itchy Bond was a strong power company too. So make a long story short, I was with Itchy Bond.
And I was about to get to that too. Because like now during this time, you know, now that LaFace and all these big labels are here, they don't really get no records going on the radio till about 95, 96. Like really what Atlanta really just take off and go nationwide. But before that, it was kind of like between Atlanta artists, it was really like a big battle. You had Raheem, you had Shy D, Kids and Rock, Smurf, Splat Pack, you had all these bass groups out of Atlanta. And that's kind of like how Lil Jon got, you know, and Jermaine made the So Def Bass All-Stars. That's how that came about, because it was this onslaught of everybody making bass records during this time. You know what I'm saying? So during that time, I know like Raheem, you had a lot of big records. You had like The Most Beautiful Girl. You had, I mean, you just had like hit after hit after hit after hit. Then the hip hop radio station hit, and then like you was like one of the most requested records on the station. But even when Outkast and these cats had big records, tell us about how that was all going down during that time.
Man, you're gonna love it. Right before I say that, let me flash back something for Sade.
Yo,
1993.
Oh yeah, man.
I said, you know what? I'm getting ready to do this record. My boy Sade. Yep, Sade just getting out. He's just getting out the joint.
Yep.
I said it'll only be right that Raheem the Dream and MC Sade do a record together. And Freaknik was crazy, phenomenon. So we came up with Short Shorts, went in the studio, and that record is history right now, man. Still get played everywhere. And that's just, I just wanted to take you back there before Smurf had blew up. Me and Shy went in the studio and did
that's right.
You know, and now we're speeded on up. All right, here we go. Now, club scene, you was talking about the radio. What happened was Kiss 104 came in with Mitch Faulkner. Mitch Faulkner was the program director. Me and King J went to the radio station with our 12 inches. He went in the station. He said, I'm going to go meet with this radio since V103 still hadn't put us on rotation. We still just getting heavy Friday Night Fresh Fest. He went in the station about 5 o'clock, came out, and I sat in the car, and he said, I said, everything went out? He said, yeah. He said, he's going to take a listen to the record and give me a call. So I said, all right, cool, sound like the other radio station, but it's all good. So we sitting in the parking lot, and then Mitch Faulkner come on the air, and he said, this gentleman just came in the station, young brother on his own record label, Arvis Record. He gave me a record, guy named Raheem the Dream, and I'm gonna play it for you, Atlanta, and y'all tell me what y'all think. Now we talking about 5 o'clock, 5:10, traffic is everywhere in Atlanta, and he played my record. Only thing we could do was run to the payphone, put all our quarters in, and we have cell phone. So we called everybody, turn the radio on, turn the radio. They got me on at 5 o'clock. Can you believe this? Then it came on at 9 o'clock. Then it came on at 12. We kept the radio station on. He called Jarvis the next morning. He said, are you ready for this? He said, yeah. He said, I'm getting ready to add your song on rotation. So you better start pressing up, go get a loan or get something. But he put us on 39 times a week. That's heavy rotation. I think I was probably the first rap artist out of Atlanta to get radio station rotation like that. It was incredible, man. I couldn't believe it. We getting called, we pressing up more 12 inches than you could throw a stick at, man. You know, I mean, we really got it on. That was our beginning. And that was August 1986 when he came in and put me on heavy rotation.
Oh, yeah. That was big, especially for 86, because you was competing against a lot of big rappers back then in 86. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of your major legends and rap stars came out of 85, 86, 87. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shadi, what was, how, you know, back then, now getting your record played on V103 was major. How was it for you?
I mean, it was cool. I mean, Atlanta wasn't really showing me that love. I can't even front. Man.
Oh, Shadi, you can't say that. We was in love with you, bro.
Edward J, no joke, man. Edward J Radio was showing me more love than V103 or whoever was out at the time. No joke, man. I got more love from Edward J than Real Radio. Raheem was the man. Tell him, Rob.
Yeah.
It was pumping
radio.
You know, and then another thing, X, you know, I wasn't in Atlanta much during them times because I was on the road. So I really don't know what they playing records. You know what I'm saying? I was on the road and then basically I was living in Miami, but it just felt like my luck was bad because every time I come to town, I'm hearing Raheem the Dream. You know? For real. Yeah, you know, and then the Shadi thing just wasn't happening for me in Atlanta. I got to be honest. Like I say, Edward J kept me alive in Atlanta.
Yeah. But that's funny. That's funny, Shy. You would say Atlanta wasn't bumping for you. You don't remember, but Jermaine Dupri, you wrote a rap from. You say you don't remember that, but one thing about it, Atlanta showed you love when Jermaine Dupri and Luda came out. Welcome to Atlanta.
Oh, man.
And in that Welcome to Atlanta, you always said you're riding around the street, bumping to the sound of MC Shadi. That record's good. Every time I hear it, I just like, hey man, it brings me chill. Atlanta showed you love, but like you wasn't here as much as Raheem was. But they showed you love. My biggest hit with you was Shake It. And I told you, I went to the movie theater. I saw this movie called Downtown. And it was the theme song. And you didn't even know you had a song. That's where the dollars came in at.
That's where the jerking came in at. If I didn't know, they went to somebody else to get that record cleared. That's where the jerking came in at.
But check it out.
Hold on. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. I gotta let my cat out.
That's that cat, buddy. That's a tiger. He ain't the Tiger King, but he got a tiger in his crib. But check it out. Hey, X, check it out. King, Raheem. I was at a movie theater, Southwest Cab Mall. And I'm looking at this movie called Downtown. I believe that was the name of the movie, Downtown. I kept hearing this, shake it, shake it. I kept saying, damn it, that's Shadi. So this is what make me from that movie, I said I gotta wait to see the credits.
Yeah.
And I waited, and when I seen MC Shadi, I said, holy crap. I don't know where Shadi, are you back?
I'm back.
Hey, was you in or out when I gave you that call?
Which one?
The Shake It, when I saw it on that movie called Downtown. Was you in or did you get out?
In town?
No, when you was in the joint.
I don't even know what year that record, that movie came out.
It was in the 90s.
I probably was in.
You was in? Well, I gave you a call. I said, Shy, get a good lawyer because you getting ready to get rich. And you didn't know nothing about it. And that's history right there too.
Yeah. Well, like I say, that must have been when the jerking was going on. Cause like I say, nobody could put your music out without getting in touch with you and clearing it. But probably at that time, they went to Luke to clear it. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know nothing about it, because it was late on that I found out I was in a movie. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's crazy.
And that's what I like about Jack the Rapper. He come in every year,
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Like that was a major staple in Atlanta. Like, I think after Jack the Rapper left, Atlanta kind of took a hit as far as like, especially like with conferences and black conferences and things like that. Like, how important was it to be involved in Jack the Rapper during that time, especially being a rapper from Atlanta?
Well, I tell you, I don't know if y'all can see my back wall, but that's how I met a lot of artists. I forgot what it was. I want to say $100. Back then, $100. It wasn't nothing to me, but a lot of people thought that was expensive. But that's when I got the like Run DMC, all right? Not even Run DMC, Raheem, he remembers this at the Fox Stadium. I introduced him to James Todd Smith, LL Cool J.
Yeah.
All right. I go back. I had a name in New York, but I felt when I came down here, I didn't see nothing. Yeah. And that's when I say, hey, Atlanta got some juice going on, And one thing about, you mentioned about V103, see, Scotty Andrews was the program director. He wasn't with that hip hop. He wasn't with it. That's why it took a minute for, I want to say it wasn't Scotty Andrews, it was Mike Roberts.
It was Ray Board.
Ray Board?
Yeah, Ray Board was the program director. Mike Roberts was the MD, the MD, and in charge of the morning show. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Ray Boyd was from up the way. He was like, yo, feeling that South stuff.
But even the great thing about that was
me.
Hold on.
You all right?
Steady on that mid.
I need to pray for him, y'all. Let me pray for him.
Stay with us.
But going back to that time, because I remember, like during that time, you had AM and FM radio. So it was even important to even be you could be just as big on AM radio as you was on FM radio. Even though V103 didn't play you was getting played on AOK and V103. AM, and people wouldn't believe that a lot of people was listening to AM radio even in the 80s and then even in the late.
There's WIGO. We go.
Yep.
That was it. That was I think I forgot the MC's name, the DJ's name. He left WeGo. He went up to New York on WBLS. I forget his name. But WIGO was the AM station in the South.
Yeah.
Right.
They had those road shows. Those road shows.
And like now when the clubs do the live broadcast, which everybody think is like this great thing that they just started in the 90s when Hot 97 and all them came. They used to do a live broadcast on WLK that was called Live from the Sans Souci.
Yes. Right. Keith Pollard and all of those.
Right. So that was like when really rap music, club music was getting played on the radio. So that was kind of like Atlanta's introduction to rap music in my eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because that was the first time I started hearing the Run DMCs and those type of records being mixed at the club. You get what I'm saying? and that was around the time. And I know Raheem and Shadi, y'all remember this. How big the Phoenix nightclub was during that time.
Woo! Huge. Phoenix nightclub, huge.
Yeah, like
was,
Mr. V's, Mr. V's. If you didn't get there at a certain time, that line was wrapped around the outlet. I mean, you know, like I said, Mr. V's was the Studio 54 to South.
Yes.
And see, the Phoenix had DJ Smash and DJ Dash.
Yep.
You know, those were our DJs. When they see me and Shadi come in,
that's right.
Say, get ready. You coming up in 6 minutes.
DJ Dash, that was DJ Dash, DJ Smash.
Yeah.
But you know what, fellas? We got to give Sharon Showcase some love too.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't that where you was, X?
Oh yeah, I was over at Sharon in high school. Like that was how I got with Sharon. I know y'all remember Radio Red and One Eye Jack.
Yep.
Yeah, Disco Jack. Yeah.
Disco Jack. Disco Jack and Red. That's how I got to Sharon. Like that's how I ended up. You know, I started out going by the Jack used to be over at Epster Park, and that was the first time I got introduced to DJing. And then I seen DJ New York over at Samuel Jones Boys Club.
Okay.
And I started carrying Jack records. I used to carry the records, carry the equipment, make sure everything was, you know, whatever they needed me to do. That's how I started out. You know what I mean? Because all I wanted to do was just, you know, give me a chance to get on the turntables or teach me how to get on the turntable.
DJ New York, where is DJ New York nowadays? Do anybody know?
Yeah, could y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to this guy. He talked to him all the time. He said his health is bad. Said he his health is kind of bad, so he don't come out that much, but he's still around.
Yeah, that's who I started with. Like, you know, I was 13, 14 years old. They was coming to my mom's house and asking them, could I DJ?
Hey, yo, y'all wouldn't believe it, man. DJ New York had the cater on lock. He was the first DJ to do parties in all these apartments in Decatur clubhouses, man. I'm talking about DJ New York,
Misty Waters,
Glen Hollow,
Glen Hollow.
Yeah,
I did all that.
Yeah, DJ New York. He had the cater crunk. I'm talking about the early. I'm talking 81.
Hey, right. That was Jay said he gotta go, y'all.
Yes, sir. Much love to you, my brothers.
All right, Jay.
Listen, man.
I got to go. Can't stay no more. I think I hear my mama call, y'all.
Take it easy,
Right,
King Jay.
All right, man. Listen, but just fast forward a little bit, like I said, man, just bringing it back up to date. And I know, like, and I want to bring it back to you, Raheem, again. Like a lot of people don't know. First time I ever seen Dro, I think you introduced me to Dro when you first started dealing with him. Like, and then you created, after being independent for so long under somebody else's label, you created your own label, which was Tight to Death. So just kind of give us that whole background.
Yep. What happened with that was right after I came out with Most Beautiful Girl in 1998. I said, I got a little piece of change here, and I think it's time to start putting some other people on my label, Tight to Death Records. So I got a guy named Drummer, came to me, he was Terrence Cook, came to me at a barbecue and said, I got a rhyme, I want you to hear, Raheem. I just got out, you know, I've been locked down for a second, I'm a youngster. So he beating on his chest, man, and he making his rap the left, right, left, get on up. I said, whoa, that sounds kind of different. So I took him over Twin Production House, over Aldham House. Yeah. So we went over there. Twin and say, I got a new young producer, 15 years old, Shawty Red. Won't you introduce him to drummer to him rather, and let them make some beats for him. So we came over there. Dude started making some beats to left, right, left. I said, I'm gonna go get y'all something to eat. I came back, them boys had about 4 records done. I was like, wow, these youngsters crazy, man. He 15, he 18. At that time, Drum was 17. So they making these hit records. I put that out, get a massive deal with Atlantic. So then I said, well, you know what? I need to get some more cats on the label. So that's when I ran into Young Dro. Somebody brought me Young Dro. Somebody brought me Fabo. Then after that, I had Franchise Boys and White Tees. Right after that, I had Yola the Great, but I ain't gonna let up. I mean, it was hit after hit. I said, you know what? I like this record company stuff, this CEO stuff. So I became being responsible for putting out hit artists out of Atlanta, Georgia, back under Tight to Death Records. That's how I began to start my legacy with being a CEO, moving from being a rap artist to a CEO of a record label.
Right.
Hey, yo, X.
Go.
Yo, X, you can hear me?
I can hear you.
Man, you ain't gonna believe this. I got a text 2 seconds ago from my cousin Bambada, and he brought something to my attention. He said, yo, do y'all remember Shy D went to Columbia? Not Shy D, the other Shy D.
Yeah, you talking about DJ? Yeah.
DJ Me.
DJ Me, yeah, that was my guy.
Bambada just brought that to my. He just texted me, man, and said, "Yo, wasn't that's right? Wasn't he in the? Yeah, Bam just texted me and said, "Yo, wasn't he in the early days with y'all?" So, yo, we forgot DJ Me.
We got
DJ. Hey, and also D-Rock, the original D-Rock.
D-Rock.
Oh yeah, D-Rock was the man who run this mother.
That's right. He came out with a record back then too. But that's so funny. Bam just texted me and brought that to my attention. So he's tuning in with us. So I want all y'all to give a shout out to my cousin Bambada. He's chiming in right now.
Zulu.
Zulu.
Party people.
But like I said, man, I want to make it long and drawn. I don't want to make it long and drawn out, man. But just give me go ahead. Yeah, but just give me like Shadi. I know you stay like now.
Yeah.
You DJing, you online, people seeing you now. Just kind of tell the people where you at and what you got going on now.
Oh yeah, basically, man. Like I say, man. Well, you know, that's so funny. I just got the text from Bam. So I mean, before this Atlanta thing, can I take it back to my New York roots?
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, I was ready. I didn't know if y'all wanted to stay on. I can stay all night. We can talk.
Oh nah, we can talk a little bit. We can chop it up to 10 o'clock. I got a radio interview in with California at 10 o'clock, so I'm good.
Yeah, well, tell your roots. Let's get into
check this out, man.
My charge. I'll be right back.
All right. A lot of people might not notice that. Might not know that I'm from New York City. So my whole beginning in the hip hop, rap game, breakdancing game comes from the projects that I'm from. I'm from the Bronx River Projects in the Bronx, New York. Right. And if it wasn't for Bambada, I mean, me even loving hip hop would have never came about, because Bam, when we was like 8 and 9 years old, maybe earlier than that, Bam used to put his speaker in the window in the projects, and everybody gather around his window, and Bam be rocking music. And then Bam used to take the party to the back of the center, and he bring his DJ equipment out, and everybody come from the projects, you know, and be out there partying, man. So I gotta definitely take my hip hop roots back to the Bronx, New York, with the Africa Bambada.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a mighty Zulu nation.
I mean, you have to give respect to, respect due to the foundation of hip hop started in New York. So, and doing, even back then, I always tell a lot of the guys, the difference between New York guys, like we was into the funk, like we was into Parliament, Funkadelic, a lot of the funk bands. It was like really about the bands out here. It wasn't creating a band. It wasn't about, until rap, to a lot of the transplants from New York moved to Atlanta, and the kids came. That's what kind of brought that whole influence of breakdancing, DJing, MCing. That's when, I know that's when I got influenced from, because it was cats that was from New York that moved to Decatur that influenced me. You get what I'm saying? Like when we talk about JC, he gets props from being from Atlanta, but he's from Detroit. So
that's right.
So that influence, that New York influence it did a lot to Atlanta when it came, even to when you see the offsprings, like I said, even what y'all created, Shy and Raheem, you got to look at it in amazement at what you helped create.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yo, I mean, I could go on and on with this, but the funny thing is, when the thing came up about when Kizzy Rock brought it to my attention about battling Raheem, right? I was like, yo, man. I had them LL lyrics, man. I'm in trouble. You know what I'm saying, man? You know what I'm saying? When Rock first dropped, I mean, Rock he started partying later in his career. But at the beginning, Rock wasn't playing with them lyrics, man. So I had to really think about it, man. And then, like I said, we've been having a lot of technical issues building up to this thing for Friday, and I'm saying to myself, man, I might need to bow out, man. You know what I'm saying, man? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah, you got but shot. I mean, like I ain't even gonna lie. I think I called you. I told you. I said I'm gonna be front row Friday night because I can't wait for the battle. You know what I'm saying? I think all of Atlanta, you know, it's gonna be all in fun. But I think it's a good thing that you two guys is coming together and going hit for hit because y'all was so, you know, y'all so instrumental in the beginning of this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I think either way it go, man, it don't matter what, you know, it's all in fun. And both of y'all got hits. You know what I mean?
And see, here's my take on it. Me and Sade, we'll be celebrating 35 years in the game. So what we wanted to do was make it fun for the Atlanta listeners, the worldwide listeners, people that grew up on our music. It wasn't like we're gonna get on there and Sade ain't this, Raheem, you ain't that. You know, we just dropping our hits, and we doing it on a national level. Whereas everybody's at home now. I mean, with that Corona stuff, you know how the gram done went up so high now. You know, the views is ridiculous. So we giving them some entertainment at the same time, and the format and Sade, the music gonna be fine and the sound because man, you're gonna be at a location, man, that they got is so perfect. Because I know you like me with that sound. You want it right because we ain't giving the public nothing back. So we got some professional people that's doing the sound for both of us. The same person doing his is doing mine. So we getting it's gonna be even playing field. And we got a special guest celebrity DJ Kizzy Rock is DJing for both of us. I mean, it's gonna be phenomenal, man. Nobody's gonna have no shortages. We dropping number hits, 10 rounds. Sade, Raheem, Sade. I mean, god damn, man. I did an interview on the radio yesterday from Alabama radio station. All they listeners is going to be tuning in to this. The station called me for an interview about this, Sade, about the battle. Then I got one tomorrow in Dallas, Texas on the radio, live IG. I mean, there's going to be so many people watching this, man. So we're going to make this.
Can I say one thing? Can I say one thing? Hey, Sade, Raheem, y'all remember Baby Legs?
Of course I do, your son.
Hey, X, I just want to let you know, my oldest son back in the day, he was called Baby Legs. That was my star breakdancer. I just want to give a shout out to him because he's looking at us right now on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I hope a lot of people are checking this out because this right here, to me, your two are history. This right here is the making of history, X.
Yeah.
Because what I like about Raheem, nobody would give this man, he's like the Jay-Z of the South. He was before Jay-Z, okay? He had to start his own label just to make, and was what I'm feeling about, he mentioned 35 years. That was the last time me and Raheem really communicated. And it's wild, you see what I'm saying? But I'm proud of him, I'm proud of Sade, because, hey, you know, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Right.
Hey,
so
y'all put niggas on.
So listen. Let me say this though, because we cannot do this without mentioning this. Tell the people how important the Booty Clubs was in developing your music and how it exposed your music to just the regular people in Atlanta.
Man, I'll go ahead and start it off. Look here, that was my main platform. I knew exactly how many strip clubs we had in Atlanta, black and white. We had 41 strip clubs. Right. 41. They was on my list. I would have to start at 11 a.m. to start, and I start further out. I started Stone Mountain, work my way back in through Decatur, cutting past Foxy Lady. Oh, we got to go to Blue Flame. I'm trying to hit all my routes before 5 o'clock traffic jam. Okay.
Are you doing day shift because it's free?
Yeah. I'm doing day shift because they DJs play your music. So what I would do, I would hit the DJs, and then if I know I can't come back that evening, I'll say, get this to the night shift DJ. Oh, I'm covering all my DJs. Because some of them wouldn't give the other DJs the music. They say, man, he ain't give me shit. He ain't leave me none. So now I got to come back to your club. So I'm trying to knock out both DJs, night and day shift at the same time. And I end up at the hottest club for the night shift. You know, Magic City and all them Blue Flame. I'm hitting them at 8, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Hey, right. I learned a lot of that. I learned a lot of how to work a record from you, bro.
Thank you.
I learned that like going to the clubs and shit.
Yeah.
Like I used to see you do it because I was one of the damn DJs, but I used to see you everywhere, bro. You know what I mean?
He was a hustler.
That's right.
But I'm gonna tell you, Raheem, like, and this just giving you your props though, for real. Like that's something I still tell the artists to do to this day. If you're in Atlanta, it's so many strip clubs. That's why as Coalition DJs, we because we in all your strip clubs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
So at the same time, you gotta go and get your record played in the strip club. You know what I mean? So it's best to go hand to hand. Like you said, I started at 11 in the morning. I would make sure, and the reason why I said day shift, a lot of the artists don't understand, like, having your record played when everybody's in the club is great, but getting there early and building that relationship with that DJ is way more important than putting $50 in his hand, because you can put $50 or $100 in his hand at any time. You get what I'm saying?
That's right.
And he gonna take it. I promise you, he gonna take it. But if you go and build that relationship with him, you know, shit, you may give him $50 one night just on a humbug. He really appreciate it, because now y'all developed the relationship. That $50 means a lot more to him than you just shoving $50 in his face and saying, play that record. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So
hey,
that's why,
I'll go ahead.
nah, go ahead, Funky.
Shadi, being that you came from prison, man, for all these young gangster ass niggas, right?
Yeah.
Making records right now. I just want you to tell your experience, man, from, you know, going to prison for murder and shit.
Not murder. He didn't murder, no. But the funny thing about it, let me say one thing. This is funny now. I'll never forget this. Shadi called me up. He said, Rab, I just shot somebody. I said, oh, no, you didn't. I said, is he dead? Shadi said, no. I said, good. Turn yourself in.
Oh, good.
Isn't that right, Shadi?
Yeah.
Turn yourself in.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
All right, so what would you say, Funky?
Whoa!
Not murder.
Okay.
You know, just their whole experience, like, still wanted to, you know, be motivated in the music.
What made me, like, after I got out?
Yeah, I know. Rab said like your record was popping and stuff. That probably had a lot to do with it, but you know, still though.
Nah, but basically, you know, hip hop was all I knew. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, don't get me wrong. I had a job when I was young, parking cars. You know, I used to do valet parking out there at the Ritz-Carlton in Lenox. But hip hop was running through my blood so bad. Excuse me, once I got a chance to experience hip hop, travel the world with hip hop. I mean, what am I gonna do? Come out of jail and go to a job? Which I tried. Don't get me wrong. Shout out to Mr. Bigelow's that own Bigelow's on Gresham Road. I work at that club right now, but Mr. Bigelow gave me my first job when I came home. He had a contract out at the airport, you know, cleaning up all the restrooms and stuff. So let me tell you a funny story about that. I did that for 4 days when I got out. What I did was I used to clean up the offices and stuff. So it was this white man that used to like me. So every time I come in his office to clean up, he called me New York. So he was like, hey, what's up, New York? I said, everything good. So I said, yo, let me ask you a question. How much do you make an hour? He said $32.50. He was working for Delta. I said, well, I just want to tell you today, my last day. It was a pleasure meeting you. He was like, what happened? I said, yo, I'm quitting right now because you told me you make $32.50. You want to know how much I make an hour? And I told him what I made an hour. And you know what I'm saying? I said, yo, I got to get back into rap, man. I can't, you know, when that man told me he made $32.50 an hour, he was my motivations to get back into the music business.
Yep.
And also with Raheem, not trying to be funny because I wanted to get into it, but I was, you got 1 foot in the door and 1 foot out. Yeah. I was really like that, but when Rod called me up for shorts, you know what I'm saying? Rod, like I say, he called me funky fresh out the pen, you know what I'm saying? So That's an old school word, right? Funky fresh. You know we from the old school. Yeah, Rob called me fresh. He caught me fresh out the pen, and when we made that record and the record blew up, I said, "Yeah, I got to stay with this shit."
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
I remember Ponte and Shadi was performing in Run DMC. I think he opened up for Run DMC or somebody.
Yeah, at the Omni.
Nah, at the gate, nigga, right here on Glen.
Oh yeah. Okay, me and Smurf.
Yep.
Shadi, I'm gonna take you back though. And
All
you
right.
Remember this? The first time I seen you in concert when you opened up for New Edition at Civic Center.
Oh wow.
You remember
Yeah,
that?
that's how we hooked that up for Shadi, me and Cal.
Yeah, cause y'all took me back, man. I was a New Edition fan, man. I thought I was Ralph Tresvant back then.
That's right. All the little girls thought you was little Ralph Tresvant. Only difference between you and him, you was light skinned, he was dark skinned.
Yep, yeah, man. Cause X, my voice sounded just like him when I was young, man.
Dude, I was there. I'm telling you, like they went crazy when you hit the stage. Like I was just like, oh man, he just killed it.
Yeah.
And I remember that at the Civic Center. Them girls were so crazy, they scared the hell out of New Edition because they moved that stage. But when Shadi came out, it was like he had magic, you know, it was like magic. They still was excited, but when they moved that stage, when New Edition was on it, them little boys got so petrified, they didn't want to go back out. So Shadi went out there, did his thing, and I said, golly, that's when I knew this guy got some talent. It's a gift. In other words, everybody can't do this. Just like with Raheem, everybody can't do it, but you got a gift, use that gift. And that's what they did. The only thing that hurt my heart is when Shadi did what he did, but hey, when he came back out, he just told you the story. Once he got back into the game, it was nonstop. It was nonstop.
But I got this saying I always say. I say hip hop will gas you up and it'll humble you at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
So you know what I'm saying? And that with me getting incarcerated was perfect timing, you know what I'm saying? Because what it basically was I was frustrated with Luke for jerking me, and I took my frustrations to the street. So I was like, this man ain't paying me my money. Anybody in the street say something to me, I'm gonna slap the shit out of him. You know, it was that kind of thing. It was frustration. So, you know, the right person came to me at the right time to get shot. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. These young brothers, you know what I'm saying, man, they gotta, you know what I'm saying? Just
but after going through that though, like, you know, and then humbling you, what was the learning lesson you took from it though? Like, what would you give somebody else as a learning? Like, what would you say? Like, okay, nigga, if you at the top of your game, and you got a nigga confront you with some bullshit like this, how do you deal with it?
Basically, if I had a chance to do it again, I would have went home. I mean, you know, I wouldn't have followed the man and shoot the man. I would have just went home and shook it off. You know what I'm saying? But this comes to a thing, not trying to be funny, with drugs and alcohol in your system. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't have no crack in my system. I had weed and liquor in my system. You know what I'm saying? So when you got drugs in your system, this is a message to the kids. You know, when you're not thinking with your right brain. You know what I'm saying? Your brain, you're not functioning 100%. You know, so that's another part of the situation that happened. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in my right mind, because I know if I was in my right mind, you know what I'm saying, I would have just went home and let it go, you know?
Yeah.
And with you, Raheem, you had an artist locked up. How was that experience?
Man, it was horrible, because the funny part about getting the deal was the label was so happy. Before I got the deal, I was number 2 on the Billboard as an independent artist and label. Never heard before drummer. Selling 10,000 a week. Atlantic Records eventually did the deal with me ASAP. But I had got another offer before Atlantic. I got an offer from Def Jam Records from Kevin Lyles first. So they flew us up a week before I did the deal with Atlantic. And the funniest part in the world, man, he came in the office, they got security guards, police at the door the label. And I was like, what's up with that? They say, yeah, because artists be coming back up here tripping, on their royalty checks, So I was like, damn, that ain't a good sign. Y'all got police and armed guards at the door. Y'all must not be paying people or something going on. So, but make a long story short, I flew back to Atlanta and I got a call from Mike Karen, and he said, we've been following y'all from city to city. And every time we get there, they say, y'all just left. Where you going to be at for the next week? I told him, and he said, we'll fly y'all to New York. And when we went up there, they said, get your lawyer on the line. We're going to cut a check today. They got a lawyer on the line, and they told him the price, and they cut a check right there. And we started saying drummers with Atlantic. But here comes the bad part. We get back, and I pay my artist. I got my money. We jagged up. Everything. I'm looking around. Me and Drummer getting ready to go to a release party for him. He not getting on the expressway. I'm like, he's supposed to be following me. I see blue lights in my rearview mirror. I'm like, oh shit, they done pulled Drummer over and he driving my Lexus. So they pulled Drummer over. I stopped and his phone pocket dialed me. So I'm answering the phone. I'm talking to Drummer. I'm thinking he can hear me, but he not hearing me. He's talking back to the police lady. He's like, ma'am, please, you can't take me. I'm da 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 da. So she said, she pulled his license, the whole nine. She said, we're not going to arrest you, but we got to take you in for questioning this and that. I said, what happened? So I got the car towed back for him, find out that he was on probation. So I was like, Drummer, you never told me you was on probation. He said, yeah, I forgot. He's 17 years old. So it just don't go away like that. I say, let me contact your probation officer. I called the lady. She said, that sounds good. And I'm glad he got a job and everything, but he never paid his probation fees. I said, how much are they? She say, in all, it's total $1,200. He paid like $100 a month for a year. She said he hadn't come to the first meeting yet. I say, what? And hadn't paid. She said, so we got to get him, and he got to do 2 months. I was like, I just got to get from Atlantic Records like last week. How can I call Atlantic and say, guess what? The brand new hot artist that look like Tupac, that y'all finna dump all this money in, and do shit for 2 months. I can't tell them that. So I played it off for a while. They kept calling. I said, yeah, Drummer real busy. I'm telling Atlantic Records this. I say, man, before we did a deal with y'all, we had got so many bookings. I got him on the road.
You started.
Yeah, I stalled for a minute. Then I'm contacting the damn jail. They say, well, he don't start his time yet until we can get him a bed. I say, we got him a goddamn bed. He been in here for a month, and we got a month left. They said, no, he don't start until we send him. So that's when we had to get lawyers and all that stuff involved. And long story short, he went in and do his time, and he got in trouble fighting a guard while he was in there, and they added another 6 months. I'm like, oh my God, damn. So I lost that deal, with the label with him, because I had to go on and tell him the damn truth. This man gonna be out for about 8 months. And it's not my damn fault.
That's great.
So what can you do, man?
Man. So
Hey, but the record still was going up.
Still blowing up. And here go the blessing though. Once we got him out for 2 months. 2 months, they flew us to LA and shot his next video called the Double Time, and then did a lot of media, the whole nine. They did that, and they say, okay, now you can go to jail. We got enough pictures, we got enough video. I said, damn. So they say, there you go.
So I guess the lesson is to have all your shit together before you put an artist out.
Yeah. Find out about your artist. Ask them if they on probation, they on parole, they got probation officers. Find out about your artist. Tell them you want to know that because we finna invest some money in you, and if you blow up, shit. What if you book for a tour and they give you half your money up front, but you got to go through 6 months in jail? Now you got to turn $500,000 back into the promoter. I mean, it's crazy, man.
That's crazy. Now, Shadi, you and Smurf had a nice little run together, man. Tell us about that chemistry y'all had when y'all was putting out, when y'all was having back-to-back hits, especially during the early 90s.
Yeah, well, basically, man, When I taught Smurf how to work that drum machine, man, he turned into a beast on that thing. You know what I'm saying? And you know, don't get me wrong. Every once in a while, I'll bring a song to him. I say, "Yo, Smurf, man, I used to like this record back in the day. See what you can do with it." And he'll take it and beat it up, man. You know what I'm saying? So the chemistry was good. Like I say, man, I was just like the overseer. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't take no credit for nothing he did, beat wise. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt good because I say after Mike Fresh and Smurf, those are two guys that you don't got to do nothing but write your rhymes. You know what I'm saying? They got you on the beat. Trust me, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy. You know, I got to bring up something while we talking. You know, we got the world talking. It's so crazy that Toomp is out there every time he do an interview. He telling everybody he produced Shake It. Shoot, Toomp did not produce Shake It. Mike Fresh produced Shake It. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely want everybody to know that, man, because, you know, probably about a year and a half ago, Mike Fresh called me and he was damn near crying. You know what I'm saying? Because he said that Toomp is out there telling everybody that he produced Shake It and he didn't produce Shake It. You know what I'm saying? So, but
So
back to me and
is.
Smurf. Yeah, back to me and Smurf. It was a beautiful thing, man. Smurf was a beast.
Okay. So now let me ask you this other question too. Is it true a lot of the bass music that was coming out of Miami was made by Atlanta producers?
Not at all. Who said that?
A lot of the Miami bass records that was coming out of Miami was by Atlanta producers.
Nah, I mean, you had Mr. Mitz down there, you had Beatmaster Clay D, you had Magic Mike, all of them was doing beats. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know who said that.
Okay, so who did one Rodney Terry and all those guys down there at the same time?
Yeah, they was down there, but
like Mike Fresh.
It's so funny. I'm gonna tell you, they was down there, but they weren't producing hits. I mean, you know,
one Devastator there too. Devastator.
Yeah, Devastator was there. He did Shake What Your Mama Gave You and I Want to Rock. Now he did good. Don't get me wrong. The only hit record Kali did was My Boo.
Okay.
And your other boy from with 6ix9ine Boys who was producing.
Yeah, you know, CC Lemonhead.
Yeah.
You know, was producing for Jay and them. Yeah, for Jay and Thriller Player.
I had heard that, so I wanted to ask you because I know you was there.
Yeah, man. Them Florida boys was getting busy too, man. Can't take nothing away from them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, you can't take nothing away. Them boys was beasts. Come on, man. Magic Mike, man. You know that album he had went about triple platinum.
Yeah.
And he did his own, he produced the whole album and shit, you know?
Yeah.
So even when you see, so even like, you know, both of y'all came through and y'all developed y'all thing. Then when street music happened, how did y'all feel about when the whole street movement happened? Like, you know, we went from party records to then, you know, everybody started trapping and gangster rap. Like, how was that?
Rob.
Yeah, man. When that happened, I say, well, it's time for us to take a little vacation. I mean, with nobody dancing in the club no more. Everybody just in a pile, just jumping up and down like this. I say, damn. So, man, believe it or not, we still was getting bookings. But I'm gonna tell you where my bookings was coming from. I began to be a Latino sensation.
That's right.
All through Texas, I'm getting calls left and right. And I get to town and the whole club is jam-packed. I'm talking about 1,000 Latinos, maybe one black person in the club. And they singing my words word for word. Like, I got a new love for Latin, baby.
Yeah, and that's true, man, because I was a California sensation, man. I mean, I was flying so much out to California, man. I told them stop calling me because I hate the plane rides. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I'm not coming out there no more. I was just out there 2 weeks ago.
Wow. That's
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But it's crazy, like Raheem, and I'm like, and I know you remember this. Like when I had Kizzy and we got out there and we started touring, we were really moving off of your blueprint. Like, you know, a lot of people don't know, like, as far as that independent grind, going to those country towns and shit like that, that was your grind. Like, and I had to ask you this: how did that happen?
Shit, man. Mark.
I'm gonna tell you how it happened, and the format still works today.
King J.
Look, it works today. I'm telling you, it's so good. We would get in the car and we would gas up, and we are planning to do like a week trip on the road. And when I say a week, say we just gonna hit Georgia, and we staying at the hotels, and we hitting all the clubs. We going to like Rome, Georgia, Dublin, Georgia, Warner Robins, Perry, Georgia, Thomaston, Madison. They like, are those cities on the map? I said, yeah. And they got sports bars, and they got people who don't want to drive all the way to Atlanta to go to a concert. They want a concert in their city. We began taking pictures with everybody. So now the club owners are like, are you free this weekend? Like, absolutely. And then you can't charge them what you charge Atlanta and Miami. You might charge Atlanta $5,000 to go do an hour show. Down there, you might get $750. Okay,
right.
And guess what? Go do about 10 $750 shows in the country town. That's $7,500.
That's right.
That's that much. And then those not only show money, that's future fans. That's people that's buying your music, downloading your music, IG, the whole nine. So, and then those people never forget you, man. You take pictures with them. You look up on social media, and they send you a picture of y'all at the club. I said, man, I was like 60 pounds lighter. You know? you take a picture with people, mamas and their kids, and I mean, they send the pictures back to you, man. It warms your heart up, man, to know that people still following you, and they like, man, you know what? You still the same, man. You ain't changed on us. You know, my income changed up and down. I got deals, I didn't get deals, but the income changed, but I still remain Raheem.
That's right.
Because you know, even now, I noticed, like, even with how they push records now, a lot of the kids and a lot of the artists don't know that shit came from the whole booty shake, the whole shit that was the blueprint for Atlanta. Like, when niggas go, oh, I'm gonna go take my record to Macon. I'm gonna go to Augusta. I'm gonna go here.
That's right.
That came from the whole bass movement. Like, but motherfuckers swear that's something new.
Nah.
That came from the Shadi, the Raheem, the Dreams, the Ghetto Mafias. They come from the real grassroots Atlanta artists. Like, that's how a record was worked. You know what I'm saying? If you indie artists, you know what I mean? So when I hear that now, how do y'all feel about now when you hear that and you see it? Now it's like this new invented shit that they doing. But you looking at it going like, I was doing this in 80 something.
Get what I tell them. Hey, get what I tell them. I said I was doing that for your mama met your dad.
That's a good one, Raheem. That's a good one.
Yeah. Hey, fellas.
The two-shot call me and your mama.
Yeah, I gotta get ready to get off, y'all, because I got a 10 o'clock one with California, y'all.
Okay.
All right, man. So we're gonna wrap it up, man. Like I say, just Shadi real quick. Tell them what you got going on, and Ryan, you do the same, and Black, you do the same. Y'all just going there on.
All right, check it out, y'all. I DJ at Bigelow's on Tuesday in Decatur on Gresham Road. You know, I don't know the address, but everybody heard of Bigelow's. I'm at Bigelow's on Tuesdays, and then I'm at Dudley's on Saturday and Sunday down in Latonia. I DJ at Dudley's on Saturday and Sunday in Latonia, and basically I'm a little house DJ. That's all.
Okay.
Man, hey, and I'm telling you, have a ball when you go by there. Shadi, I always drop in on you every now and then, man, and I really do appreciate you for dropping in on us. All right.
No doubt, man. I had a good time. I appreciate the interview. All right, Funky Man, Rabbi, Rob, love all y'all brothers. X.
All right, Shy. I'll see you Friday, Shy.
Oh, nah.
Hey,
love you, man.
Let me back out because I'm getting ready to do my thing. And X Funk Raheem.
Yeah.
Old man is in the rocking chair, taking it easy, taking like one day at a time. You know, I'm not, I'm retired. I am retired, but when it comes to DJing, I'm like on call.
Yes.
If somebody want me to DJ, I mean, I'll do it. Because back in the day when I used to DJ, I used to start at $1,000. Because if you start at 100, that's what you're gonna get is 100. Yeah. I started $1,000, and people say $1,000. I said, what are you looking to spend? When they say 700, I'll take it. You know, but I'm still like that. Like Raheem said, that same formula he had back then. It's the same way because where I'm at down here at Locust Grove, when they look at Atlanta, I mean, They look at Atlanta like a big city. I'm gonna say,
Yeah.
well, it's only 40 miles up the road. But the thing about the country towns, they love that. They love that energy. Like Raheem would come down here to Locust Grove, or I mean, I can go past. We could go down to Brunswick, Georgia. But yo, hey, X, I want to thank you for bringing me on, Funky. Raheem, you know, we're going to keep in touch, man.
Yes,
This
definitely.
guy right here, I haven't talked to him in 35 years. And
Then
I
we have
got
a long talk the other night. Then we have
we
a long
had a
talk.
long, we had a long talk. We
couldn't even get on the phone, could we?
Man, I'm happy to hook y'all back up, man. You know,
Right
that's a
on.
blessing, though.
Okay.
Right on.
So I'm gonna give my I will talk to you later, Rabbi. I will give you a call. Gentlemen, Funky, X, man, I love you too. You're my brothers from another mother, man. I'm trying to tell you guys have always been real since day one. I've been knowing y'all for over 3 decades. And man, it says a lot, man, that you guys are still the same, still look the same, got dog. I'm like, man, so God treating y'all good, man. And I just want to say that we continue to do what we do. And we only getting better at what we do. And we can spread the knowledge and pass it on like you're doing right now, because there's a lot of people in this world that need to know this and need to hear this. And for those that are tuning in, my IG is Raheem Still Tight to Death 1. Raheem Still Tight to Death 1. That's the new IG. Also, you can check me and MC Shadi out this Friday at 8 p.m. on IG and all the Facebook, all the social media is going to be listening. We're going to be performing live, and we're going to be doing our hits, number classics. DJ Kizzy Rock is going to be DJing for both of us. It's nothing but love, but it's just to put on a show for you guys because everybody been wanting to see us, and you can't go nowhere right now. Corona took over. You can't even have basketball, baseball, football, none of that stuff, man. So we couldn't even have the Final Four. So that's serious. So we're going to do this for all the people in the world that can tune in, man, and show y'all how we really rock down South ATL, man. And I love you guys, man. And y'all stay strong, keep pushing, man. Anything you need from Raheem, you give me a call, man. I'm there.
We need to do the movie, man.
Absolutely.
The real Atlanta movie, bro.
We want, we're gonna work on the documentary and all that, man. But like I say, man, I thank you for coming in, man. And I, you know, anytime I call you and ask you for anything, right? You always, you know, it's all love, man. And
absolutely,
man.
Okay, I'll talk to you gentlemen later. Peace.
All right, Rock.
All right.
Yo, Funky.
DJ Big X. Good job,
all right, man. I'm gone. Y'all have a good night. All right, bro. I'm gone.